Hello, my name is Tylluan. I'm a solitary pagan witch, an author and the founder of the Wolf and Howl Press. Today's little chat is going to be about Beltane, which is right for the time of the year. We're in early May as I'm doing this. Sometimes people get rather worked up about festivals and they feel that if they haven't celebrated on the day, and let's face it, sometimes we can't because of work or all sorts of commitments, they feel if they haven't celebrated on the day that somehow they've missed out. They're not being a true pagan or witch or Wiccan or what have you. And to that I always say that these festivals, we've become obsessed with time. We can measure time with wonderful accuracy now. But we still don't understand it. We don't know how it works. So celebrate when you can and not when you can't. I'm sorry about all the noise as usual. It's my dogs in the background. And you may also get a little bit of the tweeting of the birds outside now. So celebrate as you can. Now, what are we celebrating with Beltane? Well, in the UK, in the Northern Hemisphere, in Europe, we're really celebrating the start of summer. Now this is a tricky one. People will often tell you that June the 21st is the start of summer. No, it isn't. That's Midsummer's Day. You can't be the starter and the middle of the same thing. So what is Beltane? Well, actually it's a fire festival. At one time it used to be known not only as May Day but also as the Festival of the Bright Fire. Fire festival, and this is why we have thoughtfully put a candle in today. And it's something that has been incredibly well preserved, really, because in spite of everybody's attempts to get rid of it, and Oliver Cromwell really did try his best back in the 17th century, May Day, Beltane has hung on. And another festival that has hung on is Halloween or Samhain, because actually when you think of it, they are opposite sides of the year. They are mirror images of each other. And that gives us quite a few clues as to how we celebrate. We celebrate that the Lord of Summer, the Sun King, the Oak King, whatever you want to call him, dies at Halloween, Samhain. But in the same way, the Dark Lord, the Holly King, he dies at Beltane. And perhaps this is why they are both fire festivals. Perhaps these are an echo, if you like, of a funeral pyre. Don't know, but these are just thoughts, because a lot of what we do as pagans, is actually very instinctive. We don't have books, we don't have a hierarchy telling us what to do, when to do, and how to do it. A lot of it we are thrown back on our own resources, which is wonderful if you're great and creative, and absolutely terrible if you're not, because you're going around sort of thinking to yourself, oh no, what did I better do? What's the right thing? And you're frightened of doing the wrong thing. But take it from me, there is no wrong thing in celebrating. When we celebrate, we should feel glad. So at Beltane, find something to feel glad about. This is important. Lots of things happen at this time of the year. Just like the October-November period, at this time of year, you have the thinning of the veil between worlds. So you can expect to see all sorts of strange phenomena. This is going to be when it happens. Even if you're not particularly psychic, or you don't consider yourself to be psychic, you will often find odd things happen. In fact, if I go out into my garden at this time of year, you can bet I'm going to photograph strange, smoky, shadowy figures and lots of orbs. This is the time of year when it happens. The Romans celebrated the month of May after Maya, their goddess of flowers. I think that's rather lovely, really, don't you? So I would say celebrate in your heart. If you can't get out and celebrate, at least have a go at celebrating in your heart. I'm pretty knackered up now, to put it mildly, and when I was young I used to love dancing. You wouldn't think it to look at me now, but I really did love dancing, especially ballet. And obviously that's something I haven't been able to do for many, many years. But in my heart, I'm still out there dancing. still celebrating, still whirling round a maypole. And if you think of a maypole, well, not many of us can get to a maypole, far less dance around one. But what about the candle? Isn't that like a maypole? Isn't that something we can get the feeling of the spiral of the flame, the spiral of smoke when it goes out? It's all similar. It's all part of the whole. And really, to get the most of our thinking, of our celebrating, what we need is a little bit of magical thinking. That's really what it's all about. And I do hope and wish for you a very happy, healthy, prosperous, and above all, blessed Beltane this year and all the years to come too. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.